Senator Krueger, thank you very much. Our last exchange, I think, in the literary world will be called foreshadowing when it comes to future litigation, potentially. You know, the people of New York State have suffered a lot, Mr. President. They've suffered a lot, unfortunately, because of the self-inflicted wounds that have happened here. And they've asked us to come back and do a special session. I've heard it from my constituents. I've heard it from pundits. I've heard it from local elected officials. Go back to Albany and fix the things that you've broken. First and foremost, public safety, crime, the so-called criminal justice reforms. Go back and fix that. We're not doing that. Go back and take care of the unemployment insurance fund, which is at its highest level, lowest level. It's practically bankrupt. And instead of refilling that fund and coming back to do that, and using funds that we have available to help fill that crater that impacts every single business, every small business owner, anyone that writes a paycheck is being impacted by that. We're not coming back to do that. We're not coming back to address the amendment that Senator Helming offered, all those great ideas that would actually do things to improve the lives of New Yorkers going into 2023. We've come back here today, a couple days before Christmas, to raise our own salary. That's what we're doing here today. None of the other stuff that New Yorkers really want, because I don't think in a poll, a majority of New Yorkers, not even close, would say you should go back to Albany, a special session, and give yourselves a raise and pat yourselves on the back, because that's what we're doing today. But we're also talking about limiting outside income. Sounds like a great idea. I'm sure on the surface, a lot of people would think that's a good idea. The problem with that is it further insulates us from the impact of the harm that we do. I'm a small business owner. My wife and I. Every day, we deal with the impact of the high taxes, of the overregulation. I bear the scars every day when I walk into this chamber or do my job back in the district of what it's like to do business here, to operate a business, as do others, the farmers that we have in the legislature, people that are professionals. They understand that. And the less people like that in this chamber, the more out of touch this chamber will become. Our founding fathers left tyranny because they were ruled by people that weren't impacted by their own decisions. They had lots of money, they had lots of food, they had lots of independence because they ruled the roost. And that's why our founding fathers came here and founded this nation. And they intended, in Washington as well, for there to be citizen legislators that had skin in the game in the success of our nation and our state. Today, we take a big, giant step backwards. A giant step backwards in ensuring that we are in touch with the needs of the people we represent. That's what this does today. You can dress it up any way you want, but that's what it does today. We're going to get paid double what a family makes. A family, average family in New York State makes. We're going to get paid double that, each individual. And you don't have to worry about paying those rising gas bills thanks to the CLCPA and the CAC. Just a couple days ago, signed what the New York Post aptly called the Green Suicide Pact. That's going to raise the cost of everything in New York State and get zero impact, by the way, on greenhouse gas emissions as we continue to import more power from dirty old-fashioned coal plants in places like Homer City, Pennsylvania, to power New York State. So it's going to make it more expensive, and we're going to be that much more out of touch with reality. And that's the problem with this bill. It is out of touch with what the average New Yorker has to deal with. So, Mr. President, I'll be voting no. Thank you.